Hi everybody, it's Matt Carter. In this module we're going to get into off-page SEO, which is the exciting part because off-page SEO is where you really can start to see jumps up in the search engines to the front page of Google and then all the way up to position 1 in Google, or at least the top 3 in Google. You make money in the top 3 in Google. So obviously top 1 is the best, but if you don't get to the position 1 straight away, just be patient and you'll eventually get there. Otherwise, I've got sites that make money in the top 5 spots in Google. One particular page and a site of mine is making money in position 9 in Google, making me regular money as well, but it's bumping its way up. I think it was in position 7 as of this morning. But let's have a look at off-page SEO. What I'm going to do in this video is give you an overview of off-page SEO, or backlinking. That's what off-page SEO is all about. And in the modules coming up, there'll be separate videos for every individual backlinking technique that you'll be learning that you need to do. Now, before I get into the overview and explain the do's and the don'ts of backlinking, I first want to say it's really, really important that you do what I tell you to do, what I teach you to do in this part of the course. I can't make you go and do the techniques. I can give you all the skills you need, all the training of everything that works that I do, but I can't make you do it. And I know you're probably thinking, of course you can't, Matt, but I just need to stress that because a lot of the time when people get to this part of training, they think, oh, I don't want to go and do it. I just want to, I just want it to happen. It's too hard now. I have to do something. I have to put in the hours. And I'm just going to be upfront with you. You do have to put in the hours. It's a business. This is a real business that you've got on your hands when you're doing this sort of stuff. So you need to put in the hours, and you need to just put aside some time every day to do this stuff. Some of you will have more time than others, and I understand that. Whatever you can do, at least find an hour a day to do this sort of stuff if you can. Even if it's half an hour, just do something every day and stick to it, because that's how you're going to get results. That's how you're going to get top search engine rankings, and that's how you're going to make money. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to give you the skills, I'm going to give you the techniques, you then need to go off and apply them. Make sure when you're doing off-page SEO that you stay very organized. It's another thing, and this is an issue I had early on in my SEO career, was I wasn't that organized. Naturally, I'm not a very organized person. I'm happy to say that. I have to work at it. Now I'm organized, but I still have to work at it. Otherwise, I can easily do heaps of stuff and I lose track of what I did. And some people are naturally great at being organized. I'm not one of them, but I am able to do it. It just means I got to work harder at it. So use Excel spreadsheets. Whenever you build a backlink, keep a record of where that backlink was built. Keep a record of that page and the link you put on that page in an Excel document or some form of organization. It doesn't have to be Excel. That's just one of the easiest ones to use. It's really important that you keep a track of where all your links are, because you will need that later. And when you get to the indexing side of SEO, you'll need a track record of where everything is. Not only that, though, when you build another website, you have a record of all the places you went and built backlinks from. So what do you think you'll do on your next website? You'll just go to those places again, and you don't have to start from scratch. You've already got a nice record of all the blogs and forums and places that you got backlinks from, and you can go back to them again, and it makes it easier the second time round. So I really can't stress that enough. Keep a record of everything that you're doing. Okay, building links. This is what off-page SEO is all about. It's getting a link from another website to your website. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about backlinking, I'm going to do a little explanation now. But for those of you who do, just bear with me for about 30 seconds while I explain it. To get to the top of Google, Google looks at the amount of other websites that have got a link from their website to your website. Google sees that as a vote for your website. The more sites that link to you and to your web pages, not just your home page, and I'll talk about that in a moment, the more links coming in, the more votes Google sees that as, and the higher up in the website and the Google rankings your website and web pages, because it's every page ranks, not just a website. Every web page will rank. So then the question is, well, how do we get other websites to link to us? And really, it's not about getting other websites to link to you. It's about creating links on those websites yourself, and then that will cause a link to come back to your website. And when I say backlink, it's just a link, same thing. You call it all sorts of things, one-way links, backlinks, links. It's just all the same thing, different terminology. But what we're doing in this module is we're going to be creating these links from other websites pointing to your web pages. So that's what backlinking in SEO is all about. It's creating links from other web property to your website. I'm going to talk about link structure and the way you want to build your links and where you want to point your overall links. And I'm going to show you a diagram of structure in a moment, so I'll come back to that point. PageRank is the next biggest thing at the moment, and it has been for a long time with Google. Who knows how long it will be like this, but at the moment, Google gives every page that it finds a PageRank between 0 and 10. The higher the PageRank, the more important Google sees that web page. And again, I must stress web page, not website. Every page gets a page rank from Google. So your website, every page inside it will get its own rating from Google. So what's so important about PageRank when we're doing backlinking? Well, if you get links to your site from pages that have high PageRank, i.e. important pages in Google's eyes, then they are more powerful than just a PageRank 0 backlink. So ideally, you want to get high PageRank backlinks, and I'll teach you how to do that in this course. And there's a plugin that you'll be using to do that, and that's SEO Quake. And in the resources section, you can download and use that plugin. It's used for Firefox. Of course, in the individual videos where I teach these techniques, I will be showing you how to use SEO Quake. But I'm going to talk about SEO Quake in the last point on this slide anyway. But PageRank, keep that in mind. When you're building backlinks, the higher the PageRank pages your links are sitting on, the better. You need less high PageRank backlinks than you do low PageRank backlinks. I don't know the exact figures, but let's just for demonstration purposes, a PageRank 0, you may need about 100 of those compared to one PageRank 5 backlink. So you need a lot less of them, so it makes sense to try and find high PageRank backlinks. It's also a good idea to have a mixture though. You don't want all high PageRank. A mixture is always good, because what we're doing when we build backlinks to our web pages is we are trying to make the process look as natural as possible. Because ideally, in an ideal world, Google wants all of this backlinking stuff to happen naturally, organically, where people just link to you because they just wanted to, not trying to get higher search engine rankings. It's just this natural process, like what does happen online. People naturally just do link everywhere from their websites, but we're sort of recreating that natural process, but we're actually the ones creating the links ourselves. This is what everybody does in SEO. This is what SEO is, essentially. So that's what we're doing. But remember, PageRank's important. The other thing that's important is no-follow. Now, no-follow is when a webmaster can put a little piece of code on their website that goes in front of any link leaving their website. And what that little piece of code is called the no-follow tag. The no-follow tells search engines when they arrive on the web pages on that site to ignore any links leaving that web page. So if the search engines ignore the link, then do you think they're going to count that as a vote for your website? The answer is no, they're not. They're going to ignore it. And the reason that no-follow is used is some webmasters discourage people from trying to create links on their web property. They don't want you creating links on their websites in the techniques I'm showing you here. And the way they discourage that is they flick on the no-follow. There is a plugin in the resources section which will help you identify if a webmaster has done this on their website. If they have, then there's no point in you bothering trying to create a link on that website or on the web pages within that website, because they're just going to get ignored by the search engines. Now, in saying that, it's not a bad idea to get a few no-follow links thrown into the mixture of your overall backlinking. And again, the reason for that is it looks natural. Because if all of your backlinks are 100% do follow, i.e. the opposite of no follow, then it doesn't look natural, because naturally sites are going to pick up no follow links. It just happens. So if your website is 100% do follow backlinks, every single one of them, that's going to look a little bit suspect to Google. Don't worry about it too much though. Just throw the odd no follow link in there and move on. But really, when I say the odd one, I mean I would say out of 100 backlinks, I would probably get about 2 no follow links. The rest of them are all do follow. Link velocity is the next thing we're going to talk about. A lot of people ask me, Matt, how fast can I build backlinks? If I build them too quickly, will Google penalize me because they'll think it's not natural and they'll realize, hey, are you building your own backlinks here? It looks a little unnatural. You're building so quickly. And that's not really the case. Velocity is more the case, and that's more in terms of rate and how sustainable the rate of your backlinking is. So if you build 1,000 backlinks in the first couple of weeks or the first week of to your website and to your web pages, that's actually okay. It's even okay to build 100,000. But what you want to be aware of is you need to then maintain that velocity. So in the next week and the next week, you sort of want to get the same number again. So you need another 100,000 and another 100,000. Otherwise, it can look a little bit suspect to Google. If you have one big spike and then the next weeks you have about 1 or 2 links, then you haven't maintained the velocity of your links, and that was what looks suspect to Google. It's not so much the volume, it's the velocity. So you can build as many as you like, just try and keep it steady. Now initially it's okay for your website and your web pages to have, a bit of a higher link volume in the first couple of months and then for that to drip off. That's normal. That does happen naturally. And on my sites I usually have a lot more link building going on in the beginning until I get to the top of Google. And then I just slow it down a little bit once I'm in the position in Google I want to be in, and I just have a maintenance level of link building. I'll just say to my link builders that I do the outsourcing, that do my link building for me, which I'll talk about in the outsourcing video by the way, but for now it'll be you doing it. I just drop off the rate a little bit and say, hey, okay, we're in the position in Google we aim to be in. We've made it. We're making money. Let's just drop off a little bit on the links. We don't have to maintain it as heavily, and it can be under half or a third or a quarter even of what you started at, and that's fine. Just remember, you need some level of maintenance link building in order to hold your position in Google. Otherwise, you'll get to the top and then you'll just slowly drop off again. You can't just leave a site. You need to maintain some level of link building, just a low level of maintenance link building. IP diversity. This is really crucial. When you're getting your backlinks, it's not the number of backlinks that's going to get you to the top of Google. A lot of people get confused about this. They say, Matt, I don't get it. There's sites above me that have less backlinks than me. And that's really an indication of a lack of understanding of backlinking. It's not the number. It's the diversity of the backlinks and also the page rank. It's the quality and the diversity. If you were to get 1,000 backlinks from one particular forum, and I'll show you how to get links from forums in the forum video. If you were to get 1,000 links from one forum, there's no IP diversity at all. All those links are coming off the same IP address to your website and your web pages. That's not great. You're much better off getting 1,000 backlinks from 1,000 different forums, because then you'll naturally get an IP diversity. And again, it comes down to looking natural. When websites naturally collect links from other websites, they will naturally have different IP addresses that these websites are hosted on that are linking to you. You don't need to try and work out what is the IP address of this website linking to me, because that would be painfully slow, and I would hate to have to do that. You don't need to worry about thinking about the IP address. You just need to use a variety of different backlinking methods, and the good news is I'm teaching you those methods in this course, and you have an incredibly good diverse link building portfolio that I'm going to be teaching you in this course. It really is top class. So just stick to what I teach you and IP diversity will happen naturally. The reason I'm telling you up front now is to explain to you, don't go off and try and build hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of backlinks from a few sites, because it won't help your search engine rankings. So IP diversity is important. Variety. Google Dance is another really important topic. When you Google finds a new website, it can often maybe put you in on page 3, let's say, and then you can move up to page 2, and then you might even get to page 1 quite quickly, and then all of a sudden you disappear to page 10. And then a week later, you're back in page 2. And then a few days later, you're back in page 10. And then it can keep bouncing back and forwards and bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. It's called the Google dance. Google obviously doesn't call it anything because it's just what internet marketers name the phenomena that goes on in Google. They call it a dance because it's sort of like back and forwards like a dance. This is very, very normal. So when you're backlinking your sites, if one day you're on page 1 and all of a sudden you disappear and you can't find your website anywhere, do not panic. It's completely normal. It happens to everybody's website. It's just a thing that Google does for new websites until they trust that website. So you just have to deal with that, and what happens is just keep building backlinks. Don't do anything differently. Just carry on. And eventually your website will settle down and it will get the rankings it deserves from the backlinking that you've done. So don't panic when that happens. I sometimes get emails from people panicking. Matt, my website's been penalized from Google. It's disappeared. It's not the case. It's just a Google dance and it will settle down. Just keep building backlinks. On that note, one important thing about backlinking, from my experience and from a lot of people I know in this industry, you cannot get a penalty from Google for the kind of backlinks that you're building. You're not going to cop a penalty. So there's no such thing as getting a dodgy backlink from a pornography site and then all of a sudden the next day Google drops your website. Not that I'm going to teach you how to get backlinks from pornography sites. I'm just using that as an example because that's the most classic considered dodgy websites to get links from. But it's not the case, and the reasoning for that is quite logical. If it were the case, and you can get these dodgy, dark backlinks that could cause your site to drop out of Google, then everybody would just point these sort of backlinks at their competition in Google, the people above you in Google. I would just spend all day pointing these dodgy backlinks to the people above me and just wait for Google to remove them from Google, and then all of a sudden, by default, I'll be at the top. It would be complete and utter chaos, and Google knows this. They don't penalize you for any sort of backlinking. It's just for any dodgy backlinks. It's just that they won't count some of the backlinks. Google might just devalue some links and go, I'm just going to ignore those links and not count those. But you're not going to get into trouble. The only thing that can get you into a bit of trouble with Google is when you're linking out to dodgy websites. Because the link on your own website you do have control over, and Google knows that. So if they see you linking off to some really dodgy sites, and then they might penalize you and drop you because they know that's within your own control because you own that website. But as far as the kind of backlinks you get, don't worry about it. The other point I want to talk about as well on this topic is relevancy. A lot of people will get hung up on trying to get backlinks from web pages or websites to their websites that are only on the same topic as what their website's on. That's called relevancy. So if you have a website on dog training, then getting relevant links would mean going to other dog training forums and blogs and article sites and getting backlinks from other dog training websites. But the problem with this is if you stick to only relevant backlinks, A, you'll find it difficult to find enough of them. You'll soon run out and you'll be really frustrated. B, you probably won't find many with high page rank, and then you'll be really frustrated. And this is the issue you're going to run into. Relevancy, in my opinion, and from my experience, and I have a lot of top search engine rankings, and from everybody else I know in this industry doing what we're doing, is relevancy is irrelevant. So I don't worry about getting relevant backlinks at all. When I'm building backlinks, I just get them from any website on any topic at all. I don't even care if it's got anything to do with my website. If I can find relevant ones, then fantastic. That's great. I'll also get those. But the reason I don't worry about relevancy is because I'll run out of enough links. I won't be able to compete. I won't get top search engine rankings because I just won't be able to compete. So a lot of you might be shocked by that, but that's the fact of the matter, and that's what everybody else is doing. And if you don't do that, if you just stick to relevancy, you will find it very, very difficult to get top search engine rankings. So just when you're building your backlinks, put relevancy aside and just focus on these other things like page rank and no follow and link velocity and IP diversity. These are much more important than just trying to get relevant links. The next important point on backlinking is indexing. Indexing is when Google finds the web page that your links are sitting on. Because what you have to understand is just because you build a backlink, it does not mean that Google knows about that backlink. Google's not everywhere across the internet. It has spiders that crawl web pages, but they can't be everywhere at the same time. They're pretty good. I mean, they're fast, don't get me wrong. They're fast, but they're not on a brand new website. They may not find those links. So when you're creating your backlinks and the techniques I teach you, you need to help Google find these pages, especially if they're on pages with no page rank. If they're on a page with no page rank, Google may take months to find that page, if ever. And in the indexing module coming up, I'll teach you some things you can do to help Google find your links. But keep that in mind. If you build backlinks on a high page rank page, or even just a page with any page rank, Google's more likely to find that very quickly because Google thinks it's more important. So they'll come back and visit that page more often, especially if it's like a page rank 5 or a 4. Google's going to find that really quickly. But when you're creating backlinks on page rank 0 pages, or even a page that hasn't even got a page rank yet because Google doesn't know about that page, then it's difficult. Then you need to help Google index that page, and there's things you can do, and we'll look at that in the indexing videos. That's why it's important to go through all these videos first before you start doing anything, just so you have an idea of what you need to be doing. SEO Quake is a fantastic free plugin that works with Firefox that you need to install in order to do this backlinking course I'm about to teach you. Make sure you install SEO Quake. In the videos I will talk about how to use SEO Quake. In the PDFs that come with these modules, I also show you how to use SEO Quake. It is a fantastic tool. You really do need to be using it. So before you move on into these videos, make sure you've installed a nofollow plugin and an SEO Quake plugin. See the PDFs that come with this video so that you know how to do that. I've given diagrams of exactly how to install things and what they look like, and the links to get these two plugins are in the resources section for you. So that's SEO Quake, and these are the main overall things about backlinking that you need to understand before you get into backlinking and creating links from other websites. What I want to show you now is a diagram about link structure. Before I do that, I want to show you how to build a backlink. This is just in case people don't know how to build backlinks at all. Now, when you go to a website, and I'll show you how to do these things, you need to create a link on a website. And a lot of you might think, well, how do I create a link on someone else's website? You just use a little bit of code and you paste that link into their website, whether it be if you're commenting on their blog. They'll give you a little bit of space where you can write a comment. You can write text talking about what you thought about that blog post, and then inside the text you can use a little bit of HTML code or BB code. Now the HTML code is the one on the first one, and the one below that is the BB code. 9 times out of 10 it will be HTML, or maybe 8 times out of 10 it's usually just HTML. If HTML didn't work, then you try the BB code. All you're doing is where I have here domain, that's the page URL that you want to link to on your website. It doesn't have to be the home page, it could be /other page, because remember, you don't build links just to your home page, you build links to every single page within your website. And then in here you just put the keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for. So if you're trying to rank for dog training tips, then that would be the keyword phrase that you put in here. So this brings me on to the next part, a next important point on backlinking, and that's anchor text. If you're trying to rank your web page for the keyword dog training tips, let's stick with that example. You want to get your web page to the top of Google when somebody types in dog training tips. So when you create your backlinks from other people's sites to your sites, the text that makes up the backlink, i.e. the clickable part of the link, which is where I've got keyword here, needs to be dog training tips. So if I was to copy and paste that code there, this whole thing, crocodile bracket A space href equals, then the URL, close the bracket, and the keyword, and then crocodile bracket /A bracket. If I was to copy and paste that into a website now, all you would see would be a blue link made out of the word keyword. You wouldn't see any of this stuff. Any of this ahref and these A's and brackets, they all disappear and they just put into the background, and all you see is what's in between here. That becomes a link that you click. Just like when you see a link on a website and it's made out of text, that's how you do it. and that, you just copy and paste this, and you need to change whatever your keyword is and whatever page that keyword is on. So if I have a page about dog training tips, then it might be www.dogtraining.com/dogtrainingtips.html. That will be the page that's all about dog training tips. So that is what has to go into the URL here. And then in the keyword part, I need to put the word dog space training space tips, like dog training tips. That's anchor text. Same thing here for the BB code. Just replace that part and keyword part and paste that. That's all you're doing when you're creating a backlink. And I'll show you how to do these in the examples. Now, as for the anchor text here, it's also not a bad idea to have a little bit of variation in your anchor text. If 100% of all of your links have the exact keyword phrase dog training tips, sticking with that example, then that doesn't look really that natural to Google. So occasionally it's okay just to mix it up a little bit and have dog training advice or something like that. Or just to not even use a anchor text at all and just have the plain URL, just drop the URL as the link, because that looks more natural. But don't do this very often. 95% of the time, just stick with the exact keyword phrase and do not alter it at all, because if you alter it too much, it will mean that you don't rank that highly in Google. It'll backfire on you. Just occasionally, just like I said with the no follow, occasionally throw in a little bit of variety on your anchor text or the backlink itself. Just dump the URL and don't use any of this code. So that's how you create links on other web pages, and that's a little bit of a talk about anchor text variation. The next thing is link structure. Now this red circle indicates your home page. These green circles indicate a website's inner pages. So you've got a home page and then you've got other pages inside that website. When you're building backlinks, these blue arrows represent links. Make sure you build links to every single page. Don't make the vital mistake of only pointing all your links to the front home page. That is incorrect. Every single page will be targeting a different keyword. Every single page therefore has its own potential to rank in Google on its own. Home pages are not the only thing that rank in Google. I mean, go and have a look at, just type anything into Google. You'll soon see that it's not just home pages that rank, it's the inner pages that rank in Google. So make sure you build links to every page that you're trying to rank for. Some people make the mistake of just pointing every single link they create to the home page. That's not what you do. Make sure you have a link structure like this. So there we have an overview of SEO and off-page backlinking. So just to recap, remember all these important points here. Structure we just talked about, page rank, no follow, link velocity, IP diversity. Don't worry about the Google dance. You need to be indexing things to help Google find them, and then SEO quake. And also the other point I did make was about relevancy. Don't worry about getting links just from relevant related websites, because you'll find it too hard to get the link volume you need. So that's the end of this introduction video on backlinking and off-page SEO. What I'm going to do now in the next videos is actually show you how to build these links. So on to the next video.